So, if you guys have ever struggled with trading the trend, this is the video for you. Stick through it to watch everything so you guys can get my trend identifying, I would call, strategy that I use to be able to identify the trend a lot more easier. I'm going to break down everything you need to know because as a trader, the very first absolute thing that you should be learning is identifying trend, right? Without being able to identify trend, it is like going into a war blind and just firing at anything and everything. So if you are able to identify the trend, this will significantly help your trading. So let's get into this. All right. So we're going to start off with the basics of the trend, right? What is a trend made up of? What ways can a market move? So let's go up here. The market can only go in three directions. So we'll put market direction. First direction, uptrend. It can go up. Second, downtrend. It can go down. And the third one is sideways. So the stock market, futures market, forex market, whatever you are trading can only go in these three directions: up, down, and sideways. So this is the main thing you need to know. This is like a complete beginner's crash course. All right, now what makes up a trend? Right, so an uptrend is made up of higher highs and higher lows. Okay, a downtrend is made up of lower lows and lower highs. Okay, sideways trend is no higher highs, no higher lows, no lows, no lower highs. So bounce up or down from same level without movement in any chosen direction. So sideways is probably self-explanatory for you guys, but these are the main things you need to know. So what did we just go over? Market direction. It can only go three ways: uptrend, downtrend, sideways. Uptrend is consisted of higher highs, higher lows. Downtrend, lower lows, lower highs. Okay? Sideways, we bounce up or down from the same level without moving into any chosen direction. Now that we have those basics down, let's go on the chart and find clear prime examples of this, right? So we are on MNQ right here. And what do we have here? Okay, we have the starting of the opening price right here. So this right here would be our starting low. This second one right here, okay, what would this be, guys? What would this be? This would be our higher low, right? Because this low right here is higher than this one. We have our high right there, and we are going to mark this out differently right here. We will put this as green. And then let's just make another one over here. So what would this second high be? This would be our higher high, right? Higher high. Because this high over here is higher than this one, so we have a higher high and a higher low, and we continue that. This high then closes above the previous one, this low closes above the previous one, and it is like stairs, right? You just step slowly up and up and up, and you guys can see that right here. Every low closes above the last one, up until right here. Okay, so how do you know that this trend is still valid? Well, the trend is still valid as long as we keep making these higher lows and higher highs, higher lows, higher highs. Now, you can spot over here where the trend then becomes invalid. So let's go over that for you guys. So we then turn to a downtrend after this higher low, right, gets broken over here in this area. So let's do this for you. Right, this area breaks this higher low over here. And then what happens immediately after that, guys? We now switch from higher highs and higher lows to over here. So not only did we break this, but right here we have a what? A lower high. Lower high. And then what do we have here? A lower low. Lower low. Right? And then what essentially ends up happening for the rest of this chart? This high closes below this previous one, so we can move it there. This low closes below that previous low, we can move it there. The next high down here closes below the previous one. And then this low all the way right here closes below this low. So it is obvious as day, right? We broke the uptrend up here with the break of that higher low, and then we continued into a downtrend. Now for the downtrend, it's going to be the exact same thing, right? When the lowest low of this gets broken over here, and we create a higher low, which is right about over here. So let me show you guys. We have the low. This low over here closes above it. The next one closes above it. So we have a higher low, higher high, and then obviously we continue up and then remove all the way through. So let's go through that. So I explained to you the three important ways that market moves, what makes up an uptrend, a downtrend, and a sideways trend. Now we're going to go over the thing that I do to significantly improve my trading, right? So I like to have this thing called trend boxes, right? So from the low to the highest point, I will mark this. This is our uptrend, and basically in a uptrend on the higher time frame, right? This is called a major trend, right? So let's put this over here. We have a major trend, which is our higher time frame, and a minor trend, which is our lower time frame. Okay, so a major and a minor trend. Now you may be asking, what is a major and a minor trend? Well, basically, this is the major trend, right? It is up. And in this trend, we have a bunch of other minor trends on these smaller time frames. So here, right, we go up. Here, we go up. Here, we go up. And here, we go up. Okay. Now, obviously, here we have a downtrend within the minor trend. Here we have a downtrend within the minor trend. Here we also have a downtrend within the minor trend. And then blue will be sideways. So here we go sideways. And over here we go sideways. So if you guys are starting to see how this works, it is very effective, right? So our major trend is overall up. Then we have a bunch of minor trends. Up, down, sideways, up, down, up, sideways. So how you can use this to improve your trading, right? And obviously for me, I'm used to this, right? So I don't need to draw these boxes. It is already imprinted in my head. But this is how I learned, right? And I'm able to identify trends and significantly capitalize off of it and be in the right direction all the time, right? So basically how this works, right, is if the major trend is up, you want to be trading with a minor trend that is the same as the major trend. So I would look for trades here, I'll look for trades there, I'll look for trades there, and I'll look for trades there, right? Because if the major and the minor trend align, right, the probability of your trades working out is significantly higher than everyone else. Yes, with reversals, you can make a lot of money, but they are risky and don't play out most of the time. The trend is your friend. That is the oldest saying in the book, and you always should remember that. So using this knowledge that I gave you, this should significantly help your trading. This is how I learned, right, to do it all. So let's remove all of this. It is the same thing, the exact same thing for over here, right? We go down. We go down. We go up. We go down. We go up. We go sideways right here. And then we go down again. And then over here, we go up. Okay, so, and what is the major trend over here? Obviously, if you guys don't know this, you should know this because I just explained in this video, right? So, the major trend here is obviously down, right? So what you want to do as a trader, right? You want the major and the minor trend to align. So for me, I'm looking for trades here, I'm looking for trades here, and I'm looking for trades here. I'm not looking for trades in the green areas, and I'm not looking for trades in the blue areas, right? Because then my edge is not really an edge, right? The market has an edge over me instead of me having an edge over the market. But if I am taking a trade where the major trend is down and the minor trend is down, obviously you guys can see it is going to work in my favor literally almost 100% of the time. So you need to be able to identify this, and this is what I use, trend boxes. Not anymore, but that's what I did to engrave it in my head. Just like how I was able to spot this on the chart and mark it for you guys. If you guys start doing this, you will be able to train your brain to basically spot these boxes all throughout the chart. And at that point, you can read the market so clearly, you know when to stay out and when to get in, when you have an edge, and when you are able to capitalize a lot more on that edge. So hopefully this video helps you guys out, right? I didn't want to drop too much in it, but I feel like I did. Um, Take notes, try it for yourself. I can promise you it will genuinely help your trading a lot, okay? Because trend is the first thing you should always learn, and I don't feel like a lot of traders emphasize that enough. But if you do it yourself and you use the trend boxes, how I told you, and all this information that I gave you, you will see your win rate boost drastically, okay? So that is it for this video today, guys. I hope everyone is amazing. Um, get in the free Discord. We are live every day trading New York session. Got all the news updates. Follow the TikTok, X, and all the other socials. Check out the Instagram for more information just on everything. Peace. See you guys.